All right, good evening. This may be the absolute dorkiest of all time videos. This may make Facebook history as the absolute worst live video to ever do. But I've been telling you, I wanted to do something with the bees, show you a little bit about what goes on with the bees, about just how miraculous and wonderful God is, how He's made everything, how He has a plan for everything, how He can work good out of everything. So Brenna's helping me right now, but I'm going to take the camera from her, go into the beehive, put some stuff on here, and show you and tell you about what some of the bees are doing. I got some great bee facts to give you, to read you here in a moment, but it's amazing. This is what I want you to see here. You'll look in a beehive and you'll look for a queen. There's one queen in the whole hive. Well, the queen thinks she's in control, but she's not really. She's got a lot of control, but she's not in control. She can be impeached. She can be kicked out of her office, and the nurse bees around her, they can start to make a new queen. Well, she can. If she finds out they're making a new queen, she can go kill that queen. And sometimes if the hive gets too big, they'll make a second queen and they'll swarm. And I got some pictures to share with you about how you get a swarm out of a tree. I believe Amy's mother took some pictures of me. Wasn't OSHA approved, it wasn't CDC approved, it wasn't the government approved way of getting it was hazard. Should have been getting hazard pay for getting those bees out of that tree, about 15 foot up in the air. But had to get them down. They got a new queen, too big for the box for the hive, and they made a new queen. And some of them left, and I was able to catch them. Done that a couple of times this season already. So, but we're gonna go look at these bees. Like I said, the queen. Sometimes she thinks she's in charge. You got the nurse bees that they can make a new queen, and so we're going to look at we're just going to look at the hive and see what they're doing. So let me put this stuff on. Hope you're too bored to death with this. We'll make it a piece of cake and quick. All right, flip it around. Did you flip the screen? No, I want it the other way. I'm sorry. They haven't made, they don't make iPhone gloves. Hurry up, flip that thing around for me. There you go. All right, there we go. Now you can see in the hive. It's windy today and a little cooler this morning, so they didn't get out a whole bunch. At least mine didn't. Hopefully you can see what's going on. See these bees? There's not many on the top here. Top is what I want. The top will be the honey. There's really nothing there. That's you buy that foundation. But those are the bees right there. They're working. They are busy as a bee is what they are. And I'm going to tell you how busy they are. They've built a little bit of comb right there. If I can do this with one hand, you better watch out. Bees don't like Brenna too well. They get in her hair. Look at that. That's a bunch right there. Great deal of bees right there. If I can get that up. Kind of hard with one hand. There we go. That is, where am I? Is all going to be honey. Right there. Down. And got a couple more. I lost my helper. Lost my helper. All right, I know that was terribly boring, but let me pass this off to Brenna here. Here, you can back up.
No, I'm not.
Brenna's got a bee on her. Got a bee on. I got a bee on me too. All right, he's gone. We can walk away.
Okay.
Got a bee in my ear. Let me give you some facts about the bees. We can keep walking.
Okay.
Let me tell you how many, baby.
I'm sorry.
Brenna's got a bee in here. I'll take it. I told you this would be the worst Facebook Live. It takes like a bee can make like 1/12 of a tablespoon of honey is all it can make in its whole life. It can fly. It takes like 50,000 trips for it to make honey, to make like a pound of honey. A queen bee can lay around 15,000 eggs a day. In the summer like it is right now, a worker bee will only live 3 weeks. They'll start out as I think a larva, a pupa, and then get into an adult bee. And as they come out of that comb, they are come out of that little hive, cleaning up their room from where they were born. It requires 556 worker bees to gather a pound of honey. A single hive, like you saw over there, they can make an extra 100 pounds of honey for people to eat, and honey never goes bad. It can last for thousands of years. The bees preserve it just right. The only insect that humans produce anything that humans can eat. Now, I tell you all this for a reason. The queen, she's not in charge. The nurse bees, they're not in charge. I think I'm in charge. I think I'm in charge of that hive, but I'm not in charge of that hive either. The good news is, the good news is that we can see things going on in the world today, and we got leaders or governors or presidents or people that think they're in charge. Daniel chapter 2 verse 21 says that God appoints leaders and kings. Leaders that we have think they're in charge of things too. They can act like they're in charge. They're in charge a little bit, but at the end of the day, friends, God is in charge. God's in charge of this world. God is in charge of what is going on. He places kings in position. He can remove kings. That Daniel 2:21 says that it is God who changes the times, God who changes the epochs, God who changes the seasons, God who changes world events. God changes eras, and that's what we need to be hopeful for. Wanted to share this with you a few weeks ago, but the weather just didn't cooperate, and it's still windy today. But God changes the world events. God changes the time. He places people in positions of power. He can remove them. Their term, they may not go a full term. They may go extra. They may do this, that, or that. But God is in charge of all of that. So at the end of the day, you don't have to worry. You don't have to fear what's going on, because you have a God who is sovereign. People say, "Well, I serve at the privilege of the president or the governor or some office like that. I serve at their request. You know what? Ultimately, at the end of the day, they're serving only because God has allowed it, or God's permissive will has allowed them to serve. So that's good news for us. At the end of the day, God is the one who is still in control. He's still on the throne. He's still in charge of everything that's going on. So you can rest easy tonight knowing God is in control. I think I'm in control of that beehive, but not really. Not really. They do what they want to. They come and go as they please, and they pretty much take care of themselves. You know, rest easy tonight. God's in control. He's sitting on His throne, and He's watching over you no matter where you're at. Each individually